friends? Hope you're doing well. Got Gatorade. Oh, Gator Light. It's Gatorade with like extra electrolytes. My girlfriend calls it salty Gatorade. It is it does not taste amazing. I'm not gonna lie to you. It tastes like salty, like someone poured salt into Gatorade. Because it's got like bonus electrolytes for rapid rehydration. And lately I feel like I've been so dehydrated. This is the only thing that makes me feel hydrated. Like, and the problem is it's kind of expensive. It's like $2.50 instead of like a normal Gatorade. It's like $1.50. Depending on where you shop. If you go to the grocery store, you can get Gatorade pretty cheap. If you look at the gas station, Gatorade's probably $2.50 for every Gatorade. Anyway, I'm hoping I get sick. My girlfriend's sick, so I'm like, I don't want to get sick, babe. So I'm trying to debate if should I go to bed? She's in bed now. She doesn't have COVID. We did the COVID test. She's just sick and stuffy. And I'm like getting, I'm like gunky, but like this is the time of year I get gunky. So I feel fine. I went and skated today, which is what I want to talk about because hockey season starts Saturday, and I'm so pumped. I'm so excited. I can't wait. I am a little like bummed that like my team, we haven't like contacted. There hasn't been like, we're not on like the bench app. We don't have a Facebook group. I didn't have even an email from the captain, and it's like, bro, come on. I skated with this guy last year, and I was kind of surprised that he was the captain because he didn't seem like the type to want to like take ownership of anything. But like, okay. So I did some Facebook stalking on my teammates, and I feel like we have potentially a pretty good team. What's weird is there's a couple, because I play in like the, I guess this is C League. I play in the C League. There's a guy who played in the A League last year, coming back, and there's a couple other people that have played in the A League, and I'm like, that's kind of weird that they jumped down 2 levels to the C League. But maybe they got hurt or something. I don't know. And then there's a couple people moving up from the D League, and then a couple people who have never skated in the league before, or at least they don't have stats on the website. So I'm like, okay. But, I can't control any of that stuff, so I need to control what I can control and talk a little bit about my hockey training, what I've been doing, because my toe was gunked up here for the last 2 months. I wasn't getting on the ice, which I'm really bummed about, but the last 2 weeks I got on the ice today and Monday in hockey gear, and then last week I did 2 days just doing public skate, and today felt pretty good on the ice. The thing, I want to rant for a second, because I went and skated Monday, and there was like 5-6 people there, and I was like, this is awesome. And then I went today, there was like 40 people on the ice, and I'm like, this is just regular stick and puck, which if you don't know, stick and puck is where you just show up. You need a helmet and skates. I don't even think you need that. You just show up, and then you can rent a helmet and a stick and everything. But 40 people on the ice at one time, all kind of just doing their own thing, is such a nightmare. And I by the end of it, I was just like, yeah, okay, I'm done with this. With the good thing was I got on early, and for the first probably 15-20 minutes, there's only like 6 or 7 people out there, so it was still pretty good. But then they just kept coming, and what was, I think, the most annoying part is that some people get like private lessons out there, which is like fine, whatever, but like when there's like 6 different private lessons and they're all kind of taking up a space, so like 2 people are taking up like half of the neutral zone, you're like, okay, come on, like maybe that's not a good thing, a good time. And the other side of the thing is like, at some point the rink should cut it off and be like, sorry, we've reached capacity. Like 40 people it's unsafe. There's way too many people out there. Like, they provide the pucks, they don't even provide $40. So it's like, it was kind of obnoxious. So I might go try and check out some other drop-in times, see if I can't find a less busy one. There is a Friday morning one that some people on the internet have said is not, it's pretty slow. I'm like, okay. The problem is, like, if the games are on the weekend, like, maybe I could do that if the game is on Sunday. But I like having a day off in between each hockey time to, rest up. And I feel like doing stick and puck is gonna be the heaviest lifting, so to speak. That'd be a heavy day, because a game day, which you would think would be the heavy day, is actually probably the lightest day, because it's the least amount of time on the ice. And while everything is high effort, I'm only actually skating 15 minutes in a game, probably, because there's so much stoppage. It's a run clock, so the clock is always running, but there's so much play stoppage. Half of the game time is probably just getting to and from face-offs and all the rigmarole that happens around that. So, like, that, you're not really going high effort on the games. But, in a stick and puck, you could be out there the whole time for an hour. And, you're not going, obviously, 100%, but you could kind of focus on skills, and that's kind of what I do, and, like, the big thing is, like, change of direction. And your muscles get tired because they're not used to, making 8 changes of direction in, 30 seconds. Because normally in a game, you might make 2 or 3, in 30 seconds, but you're not doing it all, anyway. So what I have been doing, I've been shooting pucks in my garage. I have a Super Deker game, which is just like it's like a little stick handling game with like the puck has some kind of like magnet, I think it's a magnet, and it goes over this like game board, and somehow the magnet senses when you hit the sensors, and it just brings up lights, and you have to move the puck to it. It's pretty fun. I enjoy it quite a bit. Some of the best money I spent. And I've been shooting pucks in the garage. I've been doing kettlebells. I'm getting back into that. And of course, I've been riding my Angry bike, the Rogue Echo bike, which doesn't have the handles right now because they make too much noise. And now that my toe the blood blister has all the way, it's because I think I've explained this the other day. Like, when you have a blood blister, it's up in there, and it has to just grow out. There's no other alternative. Like, you probably could go in there and cut it out, but like, I'm not qualified to do that, and I don't want to pay someone to do that, and that would probably require more healing. That's probably way more invasive. So as long as it's not infected or gross, just let it grow out. So let it grow out, and now that that's off, I think I want to get into doing plyometric stuff, or maybe a little more walking with like rucking. So rucking is where you just basically wear weights on a backpack and just kind of be a little heavier on my feet, and then also trying to lose weight, which that's kind of, I've always been struggling with that. And I think my big problem is that I just don't have a system. I'm just kind of winging it because, like, I feel like my brain doesn't want a system. It needs a system. It does not want the system. It does not want a program. It does not want a routine. It wants to do whatever the fuck it wants because it thinks it knows best. And I know I don't know best, and I know I'm very prone to shiny object and cravings. And so I think I just need to, like, sit down and be like, okay, like, how can I set structure to allow my brain to think it's in charge, but at the same time know that, like, there's no way brain can get around, like, every meal has to have vegetables, something like that. And then it's like, even if I am eating, like, the hamburger, I have to steam up some fucking vegetables or something, and then at least I got that going for me, I've also been thinking about, like, when I do break and go fast food, it's like you have to eat a normal person amount of food, like, because Because sometimes I'll go to fast food and I'll get oh, I'm not getting fries, so I'm getting 2 burgers. And you're like, fuck you, that's way more calories. Because it's less carbs. My brain's like, it's fine, it's protein. And you're like, yeah, I guess. But like, is it? It's not, unless it's like a 4 burger. Like, you're still got the 2 buns, and that's almost as many carbs as the fries. So it's like, it's not that much better. And it's probably way more calories, realistically. So I just gotta figure something out, or I need to get, you can only work the discipline angle so hard before you just snap and you mousetrap and you have a big cheat day and you just blow out and you have a binge. And I'm trying to be better about that, So I'm slowly. I think that's what worked for me last time was like, okay, no soda, and like, okay, no pasta, and like, okay, no this, and like, okay, no that. And it's like extra hard because now I'm also dealing with like high cholesterol, so I'm like, okay, I don't know if that high cholesterol is a response to like when I do eat healthy is more keto-ish, but there's a lot of saturated fat, so I'm like, okay, gotta put that aside too. So that's like any red meat's gotta come out, really. I still eat it here and there, but it's like I've been eating way less red meat lately. And for the most part, it's fine. I miss my burgers. But I'm still eating Taco Bell here and there. But like most of the time, I get chicken stuff, and so I'm like, okay, it's probably okay. The cheese is the hard one to kick, because I love me some cheese on stuff. But yeah, so I need to get. I've been drinking protein shakes. I'm feeling good. I was out on the ice today. My shots are getting better, at least in stick and puck, which is easy to say because you have all the time in the world to get off a good shot, and you're in the perfect position, and there's no one trying to stop you. So I'm kind of bummed that I couldn't make it to a pickup game before the first hockey game of the season. There is an well, no, actually there isn't. I was like, there is an opportunity. I'm like, nope, never mind, because I could go to one Friday, but I'm shooting up a dance troupe. They're doing a big dance thing, and I'm photographing that, so can't even make that one. So I mean, it'd be nice to have done that after having not skated for 2 months, but I got 2 stick and pucks in. I think I'm ready to go, and my team looks pretty good. I just want to have a really good year. I've been really kind of focused on like a number. Like I really want to hit 20 goals, which is like top tier. That's like if you can get 20 goals in a season, which is like a little less than a goal per game. That would put you in, top 10 all-time goal scorers for single league, single season scoring. So like that's the number that I'm like, that'd be awesome. But like I think the realistic number is like if I could hit 10 goals, I'd be pretty jazzed. Because my best is 3 in one season. And so like okay, 10 feels good. That's like every other game scoring a goal. But I think the big thing is like I can't really be on defense. I don't want to play defense this year, and I'm kind of because the captain of the team was on the team with me last year, and I played defense almost every game. And it was one of those things where I was like, I guess I'll play defense if we need. But this year, I'm gonna be like, no, I don't want to play defense. I want to play selfish hockey. I want to score goals. I don't want to block people from scoring goals. And it's because it's just harder to score goals on defense because you're in the back, and like, yes, any breakaway opportunities, you're skating it coast to coast. You just don't get a lot of good opportunities, and so like I want to have good opportunities. I want to try to score goals. That's what I want to do. I also get way too many penalties on defense. So that's the other thing. I don't. That's why I'm be like, oh, if you put me on defense, I'm gonna get penalties, because that's what happens. Because I play hockey, and everybody's a wuss, and they're like, oh yeah, my stick, and it's like, oh, whatever. Or like, oh, you touched me and I fell down. And you're like, whatever. Like, fuck. It's hockey. Like, like, yeah, there's no checking, but like, someone else can touch you, it'll be okay. So anyway, that's kind of what I've been up to a little bit. Aside from basically just working and then like working out. And I haven't lost a lot of weight, but I'm seeing the changes in the mirror, and I'm like, okay, Daddy got some muscles. He got some muscles now. I got some veins, and so I'm like, okay, that's feeling pretty good about that. And the shirts are fitting a little better sometimes, and other times I'm like bloated and they don't fit as good. So I think the bloating is kind of like an important part there. And also, side note, I learned about this new thing. Some new research came out about, for you, the diabetics out there, there's this thing called the soleus push-up. And essentially it's just a seated calf raise. If you know what a calf raise is, you're like on your toes, and you just go up, push up to your toes, essentially. Raise your heels and push up to your toes. And then that like works the calves. If you do that same momentum seated, so think like feet, seated, your legs are at a 90-degree angle, and then you just kind of do those calf raises. That directly targets the soleus, which is like a calf muscle that's under the main calf muscle. And apparently, to my understanding, I'm obviously not a scientist or a doctor or anything, that muscle doesn't store any glycogen. Glycogen is the stored version of glucose, it's the energy your body burns. And because it doesn't store any glycogen, or it stores like a very tiny amount, in just doing a handful of these seated calf raises, you can actually start to burn. It starts to pull glucose from the blood much faster than any other muscle. Like any muscle in your body has a store of glycogen, generally speaking. Like apparently there is muscles that don't. And you have to burn through that, and as you burn through that, it starts to pull in glucose from the blood to convert to glycogen. But with this, it's like just straight on glycogen burning, or like glucose burning, which is the blood sugar. So I'm like, okay. But what's also good is that because the soleus is like a calf muscle, that's a big skating muscle. So essentially, I'm gonna be ripped as shit in the fucking legs because I've been doing those nonstop. Because apparently, it's like a muscle that's very hard to fatigue because it doesn't have glycogen stores or whatever. And so I've done, probably today I've done, 300 of them or something stupid like that. So I don't know, give it a try for you diabetics out there, people looking to lower your blood sugar numbers. So I have these constant glucose monitors. I gotta go put one on and figure out how those fuckers work. So I think that'll probably be the first step in getting my diet under control, is like constant glucose monitor, because then I have a thing that beeps at me and it's like, hey, don't fucking eat that again, idiot. And I think I need that tough love. I need a machine beeping at me, telling me like I fucked up. And like then I think maybe that'll tell my brain to shut the fuck up. Like it doesn't know it doesn't know everything. Like, no, you probably need a program or a diet, fuckface. And my brain will be like, fine. Of course. Anyway. Yeah, so that's kind of what I've been up to with hockey training. I'm real excited. Yeah, I'm just jazzed. I'm pumped. I'm gonna go. I was gonna go to sleep because I was like, it's like 1 a.m. It's 1:30 actually, but whatever. But now I'm gonna go watch the Mighty Ducks and get real pumped and learn how to do a knuckle puck. I don't actually think that would be an effective strategy, but whatever. Yeah, that I think. Yes, I think that's all I wanted to talk about today. Drink salty Gatorade, Gator Light. It doesn't have a lot of sugar in it. It has some sugar in it, 12 grams of added sugar. So that's for the whole bottle. That's not too bad. That's the whole bottle, right? I think it's the whole bottle. Yeah, whole bottle. There's also a lot of Spanish on here, which I find interesting. That like, because like normal Gatorade doesn't have this much. Like this is all in English Spanish. Like I wonder if they cater specifically to like the Hispanic market with this kind of a thing. I don't know. It's good though. It makes me feel hydrated. I recommend it. Anyway. Also Zevia. Zevia is still good. Drink Zevia. And no one paid me to say that shit. That's the stuff I actually drink. Also, Pepsi has a Pepsi Max or Pepsi Zero, whatever it's called, but they have a cream soda one. It's delicious. Get that too if you find it. If you like cream soda. Anyway, that's all I got today. So, if you want to know more about beverages, drop a comment down below. I'll talk about beverages all goddamn day. Anyway, I hope you're doing well. And if not, I hope that turns around for you real soon. And I'll see you tomorrow because it's No Break November and we're just going to be making videos nonstop. So, I love you. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Have a good one.